All right, all right. Let's go ahead and get into it. What's going on, Banter fan? Welcome into Thursday's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and we are going to dive into the crypto gaming markets, but not so deep today, as usual. We're actually just going to jump majority of the show into some gameplay with CyBall. We're going to open up in the game, and we're actually going to play some live games. Going to go over some in-game strategies as we go. Try to pick up some wins. And mind you, it's skill based matchmaking. So you'll actually be able to see progressively the differential in talent that we go against. So we'll go ahead, we'll dive into some news across the space that we'll also touch on in future shows because there are some pretty solid news, at least some teasers for upcoming events for upcoming projects. So we'll talk about that a little bit in this video. But we will play some CyBall today. Try to keep it lighthearted with all the things going on in the world. We all know, what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. So prayers to everything going on in that situation. But without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know we gon' play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know we gon' play, but ain't a play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. A couple news bits across the space today as we see Gala teasing the integration of their new blockchain coming to their ecosystem, which I find obviously very, very intriguing. As you see here, a new blockchain is coming to power the entire Gala ecosystem, and it is called Project Gyri. Project Gyri. And as they say, they will have a test game, a to be announced test game called and alongside Project Gyri, which will kind of be the integration and test net of their new blockchain. So this is good to see. So I'll read the what's next because I think this kind of describes what to look forward to here because it kind of just describes, where things have been, kind of describes decentralization, moving to their own chain, all of the benefits of having your own chain for the complete ecosystem. So at the end of the day, I think that this is super bullish for Gala. But if you look here, they're going to release Project Gyri in a form of a community-wide playtest for a new game. It's a Townstar themed game. So Townstar is their farming simulation style game, for example. But when you look at this, the Townstar theme game had been created entirely to prove the if I think they meant to say efficiency of the Gala's blockchain. Final name to be announced. So we think you are going to love it. We are fully confident in every aspect of the game's migration to Gala's chain, but there is some valuable information we can gather from a community playtest that you'll find enjoyable and educational. So that's really the info we have on this. So we will see what's upcoming with Gala's new blockchain and Project Gyri. And I'll look to get involved with this. Maybe we can test this new test game and test net on the show next week, whenever this goes live. As they say, look for more information very soon. And it might be in the next couple weeks. It could be in a month. But let's see what we can do. And we might be able to hop on this game and play it on the stream as usual. Because I love this because play to earn doesn't stop, guys. I'll have a tweet that I show of mine that I tweeted this morning later on in the show. But, gaming doesn't stop, which I love, right? And these players now have an opportunity during this market dip. They're actually accumulating these tokens at a lower price. So if we get into some sort of a bull run, actually those tokens that they have been earning and accumulating, if they're not cashing them out in full, they actually become much more valuable. A lot of people will also pivot to play to earn as a hedge to the current market volatility, right? I mean, if you, like every single coin in the top, they're all red for the 24 and the 7 days, for example. But my play to earn, everything that I've set up in these economies like Pegaxy, Gala, etc., those aren't stopping, right? There's fluctuations, but play to earn does not. It doesn't nothing can stop it. The market fluctuations, it doesn't affect what's going on in these play to earn economies beyond the fluctuations of some of these coins. And some of the economies have been flawed over time. We've seen examples of, bad tokenomics, like Thetan Arena, where they had some pretty bad tokenomics. Very good game, bad tokenomics. But then we have Pegaxy, a little simpler game. Pegaxy was a much simpler game, and their economy was a home run so far. And now it's kind of back on a downswing. And in my opinion, it's time to potentially take a look at these economies as an entry point, because a lot of them have dipped right now with the market. And I see a similar surge to the last dip. If you just look at the charts of the in-game tokens of these successful economies with a breeding burn mechanism, you can actually find that. But now you're going to actually have projects like Gala bringing their own blockchain. You have Vulcan Forge also, which is next on the news agenda. So they're doing like a little showcase where they're going to do AMAs with every project that's launching on their blockchain. So transitioning to another gaming studio with a ton of games coming out on their platform, upcoming Vulcan Forge nodes as well. And as we see here, the Sinverse is the first project that they are highlighting. Previously, Sin City Metaverse. And this is not the same Sin City that we usually talk about, which is Mobland. This is a different project, and this is called Sinverse. And their project is starting to shape up pretty solid, in my opinion, actually. You take a look at the Little Italy district. For example, the visuals look very, very clean. And this looks like a real genuine Grand Theft Auto type of experience if it shapes up to be this type of open world environment. Looks awesome. I mean, it really does. And as I always talk about the asset class, like the yachts, it looks really cool. So this is like the Little Italy side of things. And it looks like you can do everything from, old school stuff to, you're kind of like a Italian mob member type of thing. So I really like that. As well, you take a look at their Silicon Valley reveal, which looks pretty cool. So this is where the hackers, if you're like in the game, there'll be like a hacking mechanism. So if you're a hacker, you'll actually be able to come in and participate in this side of the economy. And they also have other elements, something from like Japan. They have actual Sin City, like Las Vegas, for example. So this one looks really solid. I'm looking forward to this. But this, this will be on the Elysium blockchain, and that's the real point here, right? This is only one element of what will be on Vulcan Forged in-house Elysium blockchain, carbon neutral. So, in my opinion, I'm really looking forward to the entire showcase series here. And Sinverse is actually progressing. I got to give it to them. And when you're taking a look across the space, there's going to be so many projects that want to build a Grand Theft Auto, right? Grand Theft Auto is the most successful metaverse. And when I say that here, let me try to prove that point quickly. As far as Twitch viewership right now, right? Let's go to browse. Grand Theft Auto, third on the list right now on viewers in the world, with 230,000 people watching it right at this moment. Grand Theft Auto is one of the most successful open world games ever, right? So I think that there's going to be a lot of projects that try to cultivate this. So just keep your eyes on everything. Do your own research, figure out, which teams you want to back. I really like Mobland and I like Sinverse. I think that Sinverse looks good. I think that Mobland, I have a little more conviction in that one for sure because of the team, the backing, etc. But I do like both projects, but there's going to be a lot of projects trying to build the Grand Theft Auto. So just keep your eyes out for that and everything that Vulcan Forged is doing with their blockchain. And I wanted to make this point. So let's filter into the growth of gaming. Why I say, gaming never stops, right? So when I look at the tweet that I put out this morning, despite market volatility, gamers are going to game and players are going to keep moving towards play to earn and NFT gaming gradually over time. Gaming in general is also growing at a faster adoption rate than ever. It's a matter of when and not if, right? So we're not waiting for if this ever happens, this will go so mainstream. The interest we're seeing from so many different studios, conglomerates, companies, it shows that it's next, right? It shows that NFT integration in the world, in games, that the metaverses, et cetera, are the future. And we see it here with 179.6 million monthly gamers in the US this year, meaning more than half the US population will identify as a digital gamer by the end of 2022. That is super strong. So we're seeing a massive swing, and especially since the pandemic, numbers have spiked upwards massively since the pandemic, right? Because it actually was timed perfectly. If you're in the gaming scene traditionally, Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone came out in the same time period that perfectly aligned with the pandemic, right? So we had that occur, and all of a sudden, these games that actually came out during the pandemic really started booming. So it really actually helped the gaming market, for example. So Valorant came out in this time period. So a lot of people were spending more time at home and they were gaming, for example. So I love this. And you see the rise of gaming visualized. I thought this was a pretty solid chart, right? So we started back in like 72 when Pong becomes the first commercially successful arcade game, all the way through the genres, right? We have Pac-Man. And think about how long it takes to cultivate these things. So many people out in the space, oh, these games are so boring, and oh, you know, terrible games, they won't make it, yada yada. Maybe in 10 years, these games won't be the games that are around. Fair. That is probably going to be the case, right? We are so early on this timeline, right? When we're looking at blockchain gaming, we aren't over here right now in terms of this. Like, of course, in the gaming timeline, eventually in the future, it's going to move to this right here where it says cloud and VR. It's also going to say metaverse, right? It's going to say NFT gaming in the future. But when you look at the whole timeline, if this said the rise of NFT gaming, we would be down here, not up here. So we're super early on the timeline. There's no AAA games out, right? There's not this game just revolutionized the space, for example. That has not come. Axie Infinity did, right? It brought light to the blockchain and blockchain gaming. But as far as the timeline, where we are for NFT games, put the market aside, right? Because play to earn is going to be completely separated as far as these economies. So once there's so many games to choose from, and there's quality games to choose from that actual gamers would enjoy to come play, it's really going to change the space. So let's go ahead and get into CyBall. I want to go ahead and talk about CyBall, a game that's active now. It's one of the more simple games, as we talked about. Games now are simple, but simple games right now sell, right? Easy adoption. It doesn't take much knowledge curve to get into some of these games right now. And if you build the play to earn economics right, if you build the system with breeding, leveling up, and stuff like that, you can definitely bring in a lot of attention and mass appeal to continue to play. The level up aspect is also something I've loved about CyBall so far. But I want to go over the game chart here. It kind of shows the flow of the economy, where everything kind of flows back. And at the end of this, we will be hopping into the game itself. But let's take a look here. The NFT marketplace is where you obviously trade your characters, stadiums, and item NFTs. You have the DEX where you can buy and sell tokens, as well as the CyLoans, where you can lease and rent your players, your CyBlocs, on user terms. So based on your profit split that you set, there's a built-in rental system already in this game, just like Pegaxy. And that's what brought Pegaxy really a lot more adoption, because there were scholars at the door, players, aka players ready to lease out assets to be able to play and earn, for example. And this economy is doing the exact same thing up front. And this is why over and over, I spoke that you need to follow the money on the guild. If you're a player and you're looking to make money in games, for example, and you're looking for maybe the next economies, right? We've talked about Pegaxy. We've talked about Krabata, for example. Now you're looking at CyBall. And CyBall is one of those brand new economies that off the jump is appealing to the rental economy, is appealing to the scholar economy. They have five of the six biggest guilds are on board here. So all the marketplace, the DEX, and the loan system, the scholarship system built into the game, they all flow into the user experience. But then the user experience you can do in many ways. You can either play the game, you can do mentoring, whereas their breeding system And then there's also where you can have the battle stadium, which is a manual mode. It's player versus environment. And there's a hire a coach mode where it's automatic training. So you pay a fee of the in-game token, and they actually train and level up in the background for some of your characters if you can't play much, but you want to level up your characters for the long run. And then there's going to be these 3 different game types right here, which are exhibition, player versus player. So 3 versus 3 right now is live. That is what we're going to be playing today. We're going to play 3v3 exhibition. It's a casual mode where players play and earn and practice daily. So right now it is player versus player. In the future, they'll have the league mode where it's 5 versus 5, and you'll need 7 players, 2 for a reserve. So it's a ladder style competition. So it's ranked by tiers. You'll play people within your certain skill or ranking bracket. But then the eligible users must use 7 CyBlocs, as I mentioned, to start a season. And you take a look here, the tournament mode, self-explanatory. Player versus player. They will be doing tournaments. So I love the game flow chart. It's very straightforward. And I want to talk about the utility behind the CBT token, which is the utility, aka in-game token for this economy. We have seen examples of, like I said, bad in-game tokenomics over time, right? We've seen like Phaeton Arena's in-game token really, the THC token really tank. We saw SLP, who's really having a hard time. But a token like this has had its upswings along with some of the downturns that come with a play to earn economy. Because some of these economies, they all have a little flaw, right? And they can all learn from each other and try to pick up from the pieces and try to move forward and tweak these economies towards what's going to be the long-term solution, which I actually will talk about in future shows, because I do have kind of a vision for what I think will be the long-term move for play to earn economies to be healthy and actually stick around long term. But we'll take a look at the CBT token here, which is the CyBloc battery token. It is right now, it's on the Binance Smart Chain. It's also an ERC20 token with no fixed supply. So just like this, the Vigorous token for Pegaxy, for comparison purposes, it will be basically infinitely minted for rewards. And as you see here, its primary utility is play and earn rewards, and utility token for mentoring and hire a coach. So as you see here, mentoring, like I mentioned, is the breeding system. So there's the cost charts here. So it would cost 500 in-game tokens and 100 USD to breed a first gen. And then it gets more expensive down the line as the breed count goes down the line, basically, AKA the mentor count. So I really like this system, and the hire a coach, I think, will be highly utilized. Imagine being a player, but you really want to only play and compete and put your players to work when you are spending time on the game in a player versus player environment. You can actually spend a little bit of your in-game asset, not your in-game asset. Well, yes and no, but you can spend a little bit of your earnings tokens, your CBT that you've accumulated, and in the background, a coach will actually train and better your players and level up or upgrade the stats of your players in the background. That's amazing. So like, if you actually want to play this game, but don't want to put so much time into training, boom, this is a way you can level up your players. And then the CYB token will be the governance token. Straightforward. There will be special rewards for the CYB token where you can earn it through the league play and the tournaments, staking, and rewards for those who participate in activities that help the ecosystem. And then obviously the league play and the tournaments, like I mentioned. And just to show you a roadmap here. So we're kind of basically right here, exhibition 3v3. We'll have the CBT launch, which is the play to earn utility token. We'll have the Cydex, the 5v5 come out in phase 2. And then down here, I believe we have the stadium manager on the gameplay update. So I'm looking forward to stadiums as well as just the entire economy. So let's go ahead and jump in the game. I already have it opened up here. And we'll talk about this over time because the claim for earnings isn't live yet, guys. So we'll kind of have an estimate of where we can go with this economy down the line. And, speaking with the team, it's very, very bullish what they're doing. Because I kind of asked, what's the outlook on the economy, stuff like that in their Discord. And they're very responsive in there. And they're on top of it. So let's go ahead and hop in. Exhibition 3v3. Matchmaking. Let's hope the SBMM, the skill base. I'm going to use terms in these gaming shows when we're in games, guys. So you have to bear with me. SBMM is called skill-based matchmaking. So let's hope that, for example, they don't match us up against people who are just insane or have crazy leveled up players. This should be hopefully manageable. This player here is pretty solid, but my team's pretty solid here. So we'll try to get some wins today. So it's crossing and tackling. Crossing and tackling. What we will do, we'll use a nutmeg. We'll use that player and we'll see what we can do here. So the nutmeg right here negates your opponent's tactic card this turn. So it kind of takes away some of their tactics this turn. Boom, scored. So you get a random draw of cards and you use your abilities in the game, and you use kind of these cards each turn, or some of the times you can't. Some of the times they're very powerful and they take up multiple turns if you use them, for example. But that nutmeg right there takes away their tactic card, and it's literally all randomized. So now this is a duo, so tandem, shooting, and crossing. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna protect our back end while also putting the attack on. So we're going to do perfect save is where the goalkeeper performs an automatic save if needed. So here they can't score on me. I can only score on him here on the shooting. All right, we'll save it. Boom. Seemed like a good play because I didn't even get the ball that round, right? So I used the perfect save there. We'll get a fresh hand at halftime. We will get a fresh hand at halftime. Now it's solo dribbling. So I choose one player here to dribble. So let's see the dribbling of this player. These guys are exhausted. Since I get my energy back at halftime, I will bring up that. Now I'm very much over this guy's talent as far as they're all exhausted. Two players are exhausted. My dribbling far outlasts them. So if you notice, I'm picking players with really high stats in the specialties of each section, right? So right now it's solo dribbling. So I pick the guys that are strong at dribbling. So dribble, score, boom. It's all about strategy. It's all about strategy. And my characters, they're all silvers. I have a bunch loaned out that are bronze. So I'm going to report back on earnings in this game as it goes on because I rented out a bunch of bronze characters and I'm playing with these silvers. So at halftime, I'm going to keep the pressure on. We're going to go ultra offensive as well in the second half because it's all gas, no brakes, as I mentioned yesterday. So it's physical and shooting. We're going to go with the top two guys here. And why don't we just try to put the pressure on? We'll use adrenaline. So adrenaline adds 2 to each to my team's total skills for this key event. The key event is physical and shooting. So we'll see how this turns out. Come on, pick his pocket. No. What did he use? So let's see how, and what you want to do when they score on you, he used supercharge fuel. Kind of a weird one. It was the first turn. He didn't really need energy there, but okay. Fair enough. My guys are now exhausted, so fair play. Good thing is, then he might score here because this guy's. So see, this is a tale of the cards you're dealt, right? So none of these cards really are helping out the agenda, right? So now my guys are exhausted, and I need to pick two guys with my best passing. He might actually score on this one, and we might be leveled up here. Swings in this game are very crucial, and it's a lot dependent upon the cards you're dealt. It really is, right? Because I was able to do a perfect save last half and save one that he would have put on me probably. Yeah, so we're tied up. I figured he would score on that play. So hopefully these guys are back up. All right, so we got us a game, guys. I need to score on this one. It's shooting. Oh, I should be good here. I should be good. My guy outlasts his in shooting. So I have 46 in shooting, and they have 30, 36, and 39. So I can't use an ability. Let's fire away. 2-2. I believe it's the last turn of the game. Come on. He saved it. I think we're going to PKs. Oh, geez. All right. I hate these PKs. PK's first game. Are you kidding me? All right. I went left this one. All right, good. We'll go right this one. Trying to play mind games a little bit. A little bit of mind games. He got me there. Oh, man. Now the pressure's on me. I got to save one. I'm going right again. I'm going right again. Hopefully he's not a sucker. Okay. Oof. Okay. He stayed straight. No way. Oh, goodness. All right, we're going to go left first. Oh, no. I got to save two, guys. We might be screwed here. All right, I saved that one. Woo! We'll go right this time. Full swing. Okay. I need to save one more. Yes! Come on! We're staying straight. There's the game. Come on. I mean, what are... Oh! I mean, what are we talking... I'm the penalty goalkeeping GOAT. That's it. I'm the penalty goalkeeping GOAT. Let's go. All right, W. So it shows you the rundown at the end of the match. That was a solid one right there. So it shows you all the rundown of the different activities that you had to participate in. As I mentioned, there's 3 per half. So there's 6 total events. That was a good game. So it shows your level up. We almost leveled up this character. So let's play another one. I got to be careful not to hit the stop sharing screen. But let's do it. Let's hop in. All right. So now is when the SB. Oh no, this team looks a little weaker than the one I just played, to be honest. But you just never know. So I've actually had my tail kicked by a team of bronzes before that was pretty leveled up. See, they're level 6, 7, and 8. My guys are only 4, 2, and 5. So that's sometimes the key here. So it's crossing right now. So crossing is the key event. It's tandem crossing. I got 2 pretty good crossers that really overshadow his. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to put some... I have so many goalie things. I'm going to use one before the half. Reduce the chance I get scored on, increase the chance I put a goal in the first half. I always go ultra offensive too. Unless you are up like 2-3-0 at half, like I just was, maybe go ultra defensive. It could be actually, boom, 1-0. Okay. All right. Love that. So as you see, he didn't even use a tactic there. So I don't know if he chose a card or not. I don't know if they chose a card or not. This is all player versus player. So this is not against the computer. This is against another user. Another player somewhere. So don't think I'm playing against some random bot or something like that. They're all players. You can see the user stats and stuff like that. They've been announcing them daily on their Twitter. So it's crossing. I got to hurry here. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and keep our backside covered once again. And we'll do that. So I did perfect save. I did perfect save. So they can't score on me once again. Only possibility here. I can score on them. Good pass, crossing. Boom, 2-0. Boom. All right. We're cooking, guys. We are cooking. We're looking like CR7 today. It's not looking like a bust. We're not looking like a bust. Hustle is very competitive. I grew up in sports and esports my whole life. And someone's told me within Banter, I should do some sort of video where I kind of talk about my background because I didn't just pick up games when crypto gaming came around, for example. I was spending a lot of my life in competitive environments such as gaming and sports, which kind of drive competition. So I might have a one day where I kind of just tell a little bit of a backstory of why I'm so into gaming, I guess, because I spent a lot of time in esports. 3-0. So the stun card, your opponent can't play a tactic card in the next key event. It's about to be halftime anyway, so I just use that. My team is really overshadowing this one. This one's not even really a contest. What I'm going to do, we're going to go defensive this round just to kind of play it a little different, right? So I just kind of picked a defensive strategy. So my guys might not be the most in tune here, because I've kind of optimized them for ultra offensive, but we're just going to play it a little different. So I'm going to use can't keep up off the bat, which is apply exhaustion to the opposing team for the rest of the half. So what this will do, it'll actually, obviously, as the card states, it'll exhaust the other team in the rest of the half. Go ahead and tell us now. Well, yeah, if you want to know some backstory, I've spent about 6-7 years of my life in the past involved in esports, Call of Duty majority, very high level competition, won a ton of tournaments as recently as Warzone, which is out now. Whenever that came out during COVID, it kind of brought me back to my old competitive Call of Duty time. But back in the, I used to play Search and Destroy, kind of like the circuit style. So I was very deep in the esports scene there. And that's kind of where I get my gaming savvy. So that's kind of why I know a bunch about gaming studios and stuff like that. That's kind of why this entire thing fell in line, because I was into crypto. I got into crypto when I was in college in 2017. And from there, I just kind of had some Bitcoin, I had Ethereum, and I had some of those type of coins. And after time went on, I kind of just held them. Wasn't too active. I never was a trader, for example, at that time period. But then, Axie Infinity, Illuvium popped up, and it was kind of just it brought me to this, and I've never looked back to any sort of different part of crypto. Hustle, Scump. I don't know him. Like, me and him aren't on a personal basis, right? But absolutely, I know of Scump. Yeah, he was around back in the times when I was even still competing in Call of Duty, for example. I know some of my Call of Duty teammates too from the past watch the show, so shout out. We're killing this game. We might score all 6 times. Man, I don't know if they knew. I don't know. They forfeited 5-0. Okay. Alrighty. Who do you support in the EPL? So in the EPL, I actually kind of support Arsenal, and I guess I'm a glutton for pain because we're terrible. So there you go. I've liked Arsenal for quite a few years. I started watching soccer too, football in college. How about we play 1 or 2 more games? We're about 33 minutes in, guys. We'll play 1 or 2 more games, and we'll call it. So I bet you if this one here isn't the skill-based matchmaking is like turned off or something. I'm going against all bronzes every time. I feel like a bully. Chelsea, yeah, Chelsea's great. Yeah, drop your EPL team in the chat. Like I said, I guess I'd love pain because I like Arsenal. First turn here. I need to hurry. Time's running out. My team can't become exhausted for the rest of the half, so I'm going to use supercharged fuel off the jump. It's shooting and tackling, so my tackling and shooting player here. So what I'm also trying to do a little bit is bring each strength. I'm trying to have each player have really 2 strengths that are different from my other players. So that's also leading to why I'm scoring a lot, right? Because I'm really overshadowing in a lot of different positions, because this guy, for example, only has 31, 32 dribbling, but his crossing is 47. And for this guy, this guy's tackling and physicality is 31 and 32, but his crossing's 42, his passing's 40, for example. So well-rounded teams, Chelsea, Liverpool, nice. Do I believe in fan tokens? Maybe in the future, if they're used to buy tickets, if they're actually used in that full-blown regard. I need to hurry here. Once again, I'm going to use a stun. Boom. Okay. So it's shooting and physical this time. I used a stun. I used my 2 shooting and physical players here. They might score. I don't know what he has here. Yeah, let's see what he used. Comeback, yes. Comeback really gives you a boost in your stats. That's a good card. So comeback, guys, is if you're down in the game, they actually boost a lot of your stats. So you're able to, get a jump and try to come back. So it's 1-1. Passing and shooting's the key event here. So what we will do, I'm going to do perfect save because it's the end of the half. So I'm not going to get scored on. Let's do shooting and passing. And let's go from there. What if both players use stun? Most of the time, sometimes they'll kick it out of bounds. Some plays are dead. There's not always a result to the play. Sometimes it'll literally said opponent kicked it out of bounds or stuff like that. Boom. Okay. So what I did there, obviously, I used perfect save to end the half. I'm about to get a fresh hand at the half, so I can't get scored on. So now, going into a new half, I'm going to play... I'm gonna keep the you know what, we're 2-0 on the show, and we're going full speed ahead. Like I said yesterday, we're not turning into Atletico Madrid here. We are going to keep it full speed ahead. Try to keep the offense on. Pega's got cheap because of the changes they intend to do. Agreed. I actually picked up quite a bit more horses because if you look around the corner, they actually have the stadium sales coming around too. Which I think are, something to definitely look out for. I'm going to use a nutmeg, which negates the opponent's tactic card this turn. So their tactic card this turn will be negated with the nutmeg. And I obviously used my 2 best crossing players. So we'll see the result here. Hopefully I can put a goal on early. Nice. 3-1. Okay. Can play this game only if you have NFTs. There's also a rental system too. You can try to get a rental from the Cy loans. So it's same kind of thing. You can actually rent from the marketplace if you're able to snipe one that becomes available. And from all the ones I put up for loan were immediately scooped. Okay, shooting and physical. We'll do that. I'm out of energy here, so we just got to hope they don't score on me twice. Yeah, we just got to hope they don't score on me twice. That's it. They're probably going to score this one. Nope, stopped it. Nice. That's the game. That is the game. Is the market working? It is. Yes, the marketplace is active. You can go in and the Cy loans. I already have handfuls of characters loaned out day one. And yeah, I'm just trying to test the economy, like I said, see if it's going to be worthwhile, because I think it has all the elements to do so. As I mentioned, leading into the gameplay, not to mention, guys, you can tell we're actually having fun. This is actually fun playing like a soccer game. It's a lot more competitive. Those penalty kicks were electric, for example. So this has been amazing, and this has all the workings of it. So if you look at comparisons speaking, it's 3v3, and I've talked about it, but Axie Infinity was the staple. They're always going to be the one that set the standard, and they were 3v3. Not to say that that's the standard of games, because it's not. There will eventually be, AAA style games on the blockchain that are way more complex than Axie Infinity. But this is the same style, same scholarship economy. So we won there. Boom. So we're going to go 3-0. I'm not going to jinx it and play a 4th match and risk the undefeated run here. So we'll keep it at 3 matches. The rental economy is pretty simple. You just set a profit share. You put it up for loan if you own a CyBall or a CyBloc character. So the rental system is pretty straightforward. It has all the elements, the built-in rental system. All the guilds are already flocking to this game. And on top of everything, it's fun. We just had a ton of fun doing that. So we'll definitely do that again. And I'm excited to cover this game going forward. We'll do an earnings guide. Nice little 3-0 run. All right. We'll take it. I figured they were going to give me at least one team of just beasts, but it didn't happen. Now let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. So before I head out, keep answering us. Don't go. I will be back live tomorrow. Do not worry. As always, I'll be back for the Friday show. But let's give away one of the Rebel bots. So let's show some love in the chat real quick. If you would love to win a Rebel Bots NFT. They are backed by Ubisoft and Overwolf. The utility behind this project speaks for itself. And we've been teasing this one for a while. And I said 1.5K likes, and we were at 1.4 something. So you know, we got to hit those light goals moving forward. But on such a gloomy day across all boards in the economy, etc., let's go ahead and pick a winner from the chat here to win a Rebel bot. Let's see. Try to pick a good comment here. Much love from Switzerland. I would be so happy. Elbow cough. Madara Tempest, you're the winner of the Rebel bot for the show giveaway. Much love from the US on this side, and hoping for better times as far as conflicts go across the globe in the future. That's for sure. So Madara Tempest, email giveaways@cryptobanter.com, and they will get you situated on the Rebel Bots giveaway. And there's still the ongoing giveaway on Twitter, guys. The Crypto Banter Twitter is giving away a Rebel Bot as well. Go enter there. They'll announce that very, very soon also. So as I said, Madara Tempest, email giveaways@cryptobanter.com. And I just kind of want to preface everyone, stay calm out there. Don't panic sell everything, right? I'm very heavy in play to earn currently because it's kind of just been such a unique opportunity at this very moment. All these economies that are flowing at the same time. You just take a look at the stocks bottom before invasions in the past. And as you see here, the dips speak for themselves, right? And the buyback of those said dips. So usually they're due for recover. We might be in for a rough couple weeks in the market, guys. We might be in for a rough month or two. Who really knows? But everyone stay safe out there. And when this thing does look to be at that level where you feel comfortable to load up, I think that it's going to be a winning play. Just looking historically, as recently as 2014 here. And we're talking about, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, Afghan, Iraq, stuff like that. So I think stay calm out there and look for some buying opportunities in the future. Let this play out in the markets. And whenever there is that time to come around and DCA back in, I think there will be major gains to be made. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel for more in the game. I'll be back tomorrow. So without further ado, I am out. Play well, my friends.
Mm-hmm.